In the early days of the Mongol Empire, most Mongols were either shamanist or Tengrist, and Tengrism, by the way, was the belief that a sky god named Tengri oversaw everything, and it originated out of Central Asia and is an important religion in Turkic history, but it also was adopted by the Mongols. However, over time, a lot of Mongols began to convert. In fact, even before Genghis Khan united a lot of the tribes and clans, some of them were Christian, and this led to the belief that Prester John lived in Mongolia, especially when they started invading other places. And Prester John, by the way, was a mythical figure in European history who was supposedly trapped behind the Islamic empires and had immense wealth and power. Marco Polo, for instance, came here searching for Prester John and believed that he was living in Mongolia as a vassal of Kublai Khan. And William of Rubik as well, he believed that Prester John was living here but found no evidence of him. Otherwise, the Mongols employed a lot of Buddhist scholars and Islamic scholars to help administer their empire, and the only religion I could find that they didn't like was Taoism. That's because the Taoists and the Buddhists often fought, and the Mongols just preferred the Buddhists, so they helped convert a lot of old Taoist temples into Buddhist temples. And in later years, a lot of the western division of the Mongol Empire would convert to Islam, and the Yuan dynasty in China would more or less convert to Buddhism. But back in 1254, Kublai Khan organised a debate between three major religions: Christianity, Islam and Buddhism. William of Rubik made a chronicle of this debate, and it's pretty interesting to read. You can find it all online. But they debated all sorts of stuff, like whether or not animals were burdened with work after death, whether God was omnipotent, and where evil comes from. For instance, the Muslims laughed at the Buddhists for thinking God was not omnipotent, and the Buddhists were puzzled by the Christians, or the Christian God, for creating one half of the world evil. The debate went on for hours, but nobody managed to convince anybody, and in particular nobody managed to convert the Khan. So as the debate died down, everybody started to drink. And what I find interesting is when everybody was drunk, each religious person responded to being drunk in a different way. The Christians began to sing, the Muslims began to recite the Quran, and the Buddhists just began to silently meditate.